Okay, so Ali already have his ready. Thank you all for rejoining. Ravel also, thank you all for rejoining. We are going to dive straihtly into our session for today. Okay, thank you all for sharing your feedback. You already have your RStudio running. Okay. All right, so it's already 8 o'clock, and welcome to OSCC 2025. Today is day 3 of the training, and we still have 3 days to go to end the day. So that means we should be having 6 speakers left to complete the remaining 3 days. So all of the speakers that weren't able to speak for the other days, we will be able to have all of them speaking to us for the remaining days. Tomorrow, by the grace of God, we should be having 2 other speakers. You guys want us to announce the speakers, we try to announce, and then we don't get our speakers. So tomorrow we'll be having 2 speakers to drill us through. And then the other day, 22nd, we'll be having another 2 speakers. And then the last day, we have another 2 speakers to end every other thing as we have promised to give you for this edition of the program. So once more, if you are just joining us, please leave your city in the comment section. Please leave your city in the comment section if you are just joining us, so that we can also capture it in the reading as well. Okay, we have given some time for those who don't have the RStudio. We have given some time. So we hope that everyone now on course with their RStudio. If you are not able to share your screenshot in the comment section, but you already have the RStudio installed, Homo V, good to see you here. If you already have your RStudio installed, please just drop 1 in the comment section. Please drop 1 in the comment section if you already have your RStudio open. Probably you don't know how to share your screenshot, so just drop 1 in the comment section so that we know we have, so we have more than 10 persons right now have your RStudio installed and open. Okay, that's good. Oh, more than 20 persons already have. George, who will tell you to share screen again, Dada? Okay. So we are on course. We have more than 150 persons online, and we are back to normal. Thank you once more, and sorry for the inconvenience today. We didn't see that coming. So this is the interface. Yesterday we talked about the interface a little bit. So today we are going to go through quickly with every other thing we have pertaining to this. We have covered these sessions in previous trainings, so it might not be new to some people, and it's going to be totally new to some people. So please, if you are an old hand in the business, or probably you already know about this, do not put pressure on the new people. It can also serve as a means of refresher, so that you can also refresh yourself a little bit and also at least learn something different. And to all of us that are new to it for the first time, the recordings are also going to be on YouTube. So you can always go there and rewatch the video. We also have previous sessions on YouTube that we have covered these things. So you can also go back there, and probably we take you from another level there as well. So we have 4 different windows, like we said yesterday. In this window is where we can tap our script. What you see, I'm just tapping this random thing, is where we can tap our script. And that script is called the R script. Check a video. If it's not important to turn it on, you can turn it off. So this is where we can tap our script. And then down here is the console area. In this area is the console area. So from this area, we can also run different lines of code as well. So today we're going to just introduce you to what we call data cleaning and data manipulation using the Tidyverse package. Data cleaning and data manipulation using the Tidyverse package. So how we can clean our data, how we can be able to rearrange our data in different aspects. That is what we're going to do today. So data cleaning and data manipulation, that will be our topic for today. And if the time permits us, we will go into data visualization, how we can visualize our data. So without much delay, let's start. We're going to use this data set that is inbuilt into R. Alexander, your hand is up. Do you have any question or concern?
Yes, sir. I have one concern. I see your screen here, you have 4 sections. For mine, I have just 3 sections. I don't know whether there's a problem with my own version of the RStudio.
Okay,
Or is it okay? I think I'll share it in the comment section.
okay, it's not a problem. I think you are not seeing the script area, so we're going to show you how to do that.
Okay.
I think it's the script area you're not seeing. So if you are not getting these 4 different windows, to open the new script area or to start writing your code or your commands for your analysis, you come here. We can do it 2 ways. You can come to File in the upper left corner, way up, and then you go to New, File, New, and then you say R script, the very first option. If you click on R script, it's going to open up a new area. Now you should be having 4 different windows. Also, another way to open it, you can see also beneath the file, there is a green symbol or icon with a plus sign into it. So if you click on that, you also see the very same thing, R script. So instead of you going File, New, R script, you can just also click it from right here. Click on the green button with the plus sign, and then you say R script. So this will also open up the R script, giving you the space for you to tap your code. So with this, you should be having the 4 windows now. Can you confirm a little bit? Steve, Bato, what you have open is the R. You need to open RStudio. So Steve, what you have open is the arrow. You need to open the RStudio. Okay. So we get to the data set aspect. Firstly, let's take it 1 step at a time. Now, once you already have this script environment, that's great. You can send maybe 2 in the comment section. Please send 2 in the comment section if your script area is already open. Okay, Elijah, Genevieve, and others. All right, so we all are on course. Now let's move forward. The next thing now is for us to install this. Like I said, we're going to use the Tidyverse package. So how do we get this Tidyverse package? And also, what is the Tidyverse package? So the Tidyverse is just more of like, it comes with different packages built within. More than 5 to 6 different packages come within. Usually, these packages, you might install them separately to work with them. But if you install the Tidyverse, that means you are installing several other packages that are commonly used for every other analysis. Within the tidyverse, we also have ggplot. So while I'm explaining, let us try to install it. We also have so many ways to install it, but let's see two ways we can do it. Using a graphical interface and also using a command line. So if you check carefully, you see packages right here. In this quadrant of the fourth quadrant, you will see packages, or the fourth window. You will see packages. On packages, you will see here install. Packages install. Once you click on install, it's going to bring up this little dialog box. So remember, packages, install, and then in here, where the cursor is blinking in a white space, you tap the name tidy, T-I-D-Y, V-E-R. Once you tap V-E-R, you observe that it's going to give you the suggestion of that package. So if you are misspelling it up to V-E, that means you cannot see any option, that means probably you are misspelling it. So it's T-I-D-Y, V-E-R-S-E, tidyverse. Tidyverse. So once you do this, make sure that the option for install dependency, the option for install dependency is checked. If you look right below here, you see something install dependency. Make sure that one is also checked. Once it is checked, that means you wanted to install every other packages or every other sub packages or functions with this tidyverse. Then you can click on install. For me, I already have it, so I cannot click on install. If I do, it will ask me to restart my tidyverse or my R. So if you don't have it, it's the first time, you can click on install. And it'll be installed in the background. Or you even see from the side here, right here, it's going to create a red notification here. That means it's running. Also, if you want to verify if you already have it, like I just said, I have it. So how do I know that I already have this package called tidyverse? So when I click here on packages, I can come in the right corner here to the search bar area here, and then I tap tidy, T-I-D-Y. Once I tap T-I-D-Y, you see all of the packages that I have called T-I-D-Y, they will all be here. So you can see that I already have tidyverse checked and is already listed here. So if you cannot find the name tidyverse here, that means you don't have tidyverse installed, and you should go ahead and install the tidyverse. Okay, so that is how you know if you have a package or if you don't have. Another way to do it is to use the command, and the command is install dot. So once, like I said yesterday, Arrow has the ability to give you suggestions. So the command we want to go with is the very first one, install.packages. The second one that I have installed in the past tense, that means it's going to list all of the packages that you have. But our focus now is not to see all of the packages that we have, it's for us to install the package. So the package always is also work the same way you can receive your, for those in China, maybe your Taobao, your Kuaidi is a package. So within that package, you have the things that you ordered. So within this package called tidyverse, we have different packages, okay? Or we have different models or libraries or functions or in all of that thing in it. It's the same way for those of you probably in the US and other places, you have Amazon, you have eBay and all of that. They also send you packages. They also send you mail. So you type this command, install the packages, and then it's going to come up with this parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis, you open a quotation. You open a quotation inside the packages. You open a quotation, and within that quotation, you tap the name of the package you want to install, and that package name is Tidyverse. The package name is Tidyverse. That is the package you want to install. So remember, inside the parentheses, you open a quotation first, and inside the quotation, you tap the name of the package you want to install. Right after you do this, you can click here on Run, because the cursor is now blinking behind the command. Or if the cursor is also blinking in front of the command, you can also tap Run, or you could highlight only this line and also tap on Run. Or hit on Run. It will still run this command for you. Another way to run it, once the cursor is blinking behind this line, you can put one finger on the Control key, that is the CTRL key on your keyboard, press a finger on it, and then another finger hit on the Enter key on your keyboard. So Control Enter will also run this command. To show you that it's going to restart or tell me that I have Tidyverse already, let's try it. So you see here, it tells me that, do you want to restart R prior to install? Once you see this message, that means you already have that package. And even if you see here, above here is updating loaded packages, because I already have this package. So that means I don't have to do it again, except I want to update that particular package, which I don't want to do. So this is how I got to know that I have Tidyverse already installed. So I'm sure by now, those of us that were installing it, our installation is done, because it shouldn't take much time. I don't take much time to do these things to install it. Now you can go through the same process to know if your Tidyverse is now installed. So if it is installed, let us try to load this package. We have installed it, but then we have to use it. And in order for us to use it, it's like you received a package. In order for you to know what is inside, or be able to wear that clothes that you order, or wear that shoes that you order, or eat that food that you order, you have to unbox the package. You have to open up the package. So how do we do it? Link to download arrow. Oh my God, we share that thing everywhere. Please, guys, let's check our emails and check the various groups. We share these messages everywhere. So now how do we unbox it? We type the command library. Again, you see that it pops up this the full spelling. And if you look carefully, it also comes with this yellow comment area, where it also tells us about that thing, what it does, and some commands within it, and how do we use it. So this means that I'm loading or attaching and listing of packages. That is the meaning of library. And yesterday, we even gave an example of it yesterday, where we talk about this concept of having an actual school library and using the book from it. So once the command is highlighted in blue, you don't have to continue tapping it. All you can do, just hit on Enter. As long as you try tapping and you see what you want to tap is already highlighted in blue, just proceed and press Enter. It's going to just bring up that command for you, so you don't have to tap it yourself. Now, since we have this parenthesis, we're no longer going to put a quotation around it, because we already have it. So we just tap the name TIDY. You see also, it gave me the packages that are installed already with the name TIDY. So also you can see in the yellow section, it tells you about the Tidyverse and every other thing as well. So I'm going to go with this Tidyverse, the last one, hit on Enter. And then after this, I'm going to run it. Run it means I'm going to activate that package. I want to activate that package. Now you cannot see that nothing here is red. Let me try to uncheck it. so that you can also get the same red thing, because probably some of you now, you should be seeing a couple of red things running on your computer, and probably you are not seeing mine. You might get confused. So let me reload this guy. To clear this entire screen here, you can use Control L, or right up here in this corner of the Teah quadrant, right here, you can click on this broom. There's a little broom, something like, you click on, it's going to clear everything that you have in here. Okay, so now I'm going to rerun line 2, which is library tidyverse, so that you can see the very same thing that you saw there as well from your side. Okay, so I've already loaded mine, and it's active as it is. So if you already have yours, mine is running red. That's good, because it is installing for the first time, or it is loading for the very first time. So since it's loading for the very first time, it's good. So even after it is done, you can also go back to it again and run it, just so that we have everything intact. The next time you are running it, it will not show any red. It will not show any other thing. It's just going to run easily without showing you any red or any other color. Okay, so I think we are good with this. If you have done it, load your tidyverse library. Please send 3 in the comment section. Please send 3 in the comment section if you have already loaded your library tidyverse. Okay. Father, rival, suffer, my saying error. You can always send a screenshot of whatever error you're having. You can send it in the chat session, and then we're going to see the error and probably help you to address that. Yours is still running. Georgie, yours is still running. Moses, yours is also done. It shouldn't be showing error again. Let me click on your picture, Georgie.
Is that Bloh?
Yes.
And this is Yummy.
Yeah, Yomi, go ahead. Georgie, yours is good. I just checked your picture. Yours is good. Yeah, Yomi, go ahead.
So I run the library, but then I'm not seeing any writing there. It's just looking blank.
Yeah, so if you see my screen here, that means if you run it and you are just getting this in your console, that means it's okay. It's no problem. So let's.
But there is no.
Yeah, that means it's good. If you are not getting error and you run the command successfully, then it's fine. Okay, so let's.
Also, the green button here, right side, the broom. I don't have that green button.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's not useful now. So we'll get whatever thing that is needed. We'll let you know.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so let's move on. The first task is for us to now see within the tidyverse, the package you're going to use. I mean, the data set is called Star Wars. I'm sure many of us watched the Star Wars movie. So that movie, they have created a data set for it with all of the characters and their attributes. So that is the data set we're going to use. And the reason why we decided to go with this is because we understand if I say open Excel document, our Excel documents will be different. The columns and the cells, the rows will be different from each other. So we'll all not be doing the same thing. So in order for us to be on the same path, we are going to use things that are available within R. So let's move on. Now we have already loaded our tidyverse. Let's also load the data set we're going to use. So you say data, D-A-T-A, and you press enter, or you can open a parenthesis, D-A-T-A, parenthesis, open and closes. Inside the parenthesis, you put Star Wars. So mine, you can see, is popping up. If yours is not popping up, sometimes it might not be an error. It's probably because your computer is maybe slow and it's trying to take time. So you might not get the suggestions that will be coming up. So that means you have to manually tap it. So Star Wars, STARWARS, Star Wars. That is the data set we're going to use. So data, parenthesis open, in quotation, Star Wars, and then around that line. So if you observe, I'm not going to be hitting on this run here. I'm going to be using the keyboard, that is the control and the enter. It's quickly, instead of you taking your mouse looking for run up here to hit and run, just come at the end of the command. And it's easier to track each of these lines because if you check carefully, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 on the left side of the screen. So currently I'm on line 3. So just come at the end of line 3 behind it, and then you tap that command and hit Control Enter. So it should already load your data set. So now we already have this data set. How do we know that we have it, and how can we view it? So let's check, for example, to just get a glimpse of it or get the heads of it. So you put head, HEAD, it should pop up. If it don't pop up, you have to tap head, parenthesis, open and closes. And then inside here, meaning you just want to see the header, or basically those rows that are in the beginning, the first 5 or 10 rows of this entire data set. So head, and then you put Star Wars. Okay. So Star Wars, you press enter. So once I run this one now, you should observe in my console. In the console, you see that it gave me just the first 6 rows. And now we can see all of them, like the name, the height, the mass, hair color, skin color, eye color, birth year, and some other different characters here as well. If we want to read about the Star Wars, we can go to help. And then in help, we can tap here Star Wars.
Excuse me, Honorable Bloh.
Yes, go ahead.
So after the hear Star Wars, you press Control Enter also?
Yes, to run it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Excuse me, I run Star Wars, but you say not fun.
If Star Wars is not fun, that means the previous ones were not run. So you have to run. First, you have to install the Tidyverse package, and then you have to. So let me just copy this line one at a time and send it in the comment section. So you can run it from your end. That's the first one you need to do, the very first one. Once that is installed, probably after a few seconds, depending on the speed of your computer, it shouldn't take a minute or 2. Then the second command, I'm coming. Yeah, I'm coming. The second command is library Tidyverse. And then the third command you would tap is this one, data, Star Wars. And then to view that data or to see the very first few 5 or 6 rows, you can also tap ahead Star Wars. So you can follow that in the comment section, and that should help. Yeah, somebody go ahead. You wanted to speak.
Please, I have a lot of stuff in my console. How can I clear it? I learned you how to clear the stuffs in the console.
So all of the things that you have here, you can, once you click first to the console, you have to click there. And then you can press Control L. Control L is going to clear it. Or if you check carefully, in the upper corner of that console area, there is a little icon with the broom leg symbol. Once you click on it as well, it's going to clear everything you have in the console. It's going to clear everything in the console. So you first make sure you click within this console area, and that will be able to activate that process. Okay. I think we are on course. All right. So no problem for now. Let's move on. So after we have seen this Star Wars data, we can also view it though. We can see the whole thing. So since we already loaded this one on line 3, data Star Wars, if we check carefully in our environment section, that is our second quadrant or the second window. If we check carefully here to the environment, probably yours is on history. History just show you all of the commands you have been typing before. Though you have cleared your console, but it was keeping track of all of the commands that you have been typing. Provided you have not cleared it. So here you can also clear all of the history by also clicking on that yellow brown symbol you can see beside the X button. So it's going to clear all of your history in your from here. But what we want to focus on is the environment area. So click on environment, and then you should see Star Wars here. If you click on Star Wars, it will not show you the full data set, the view of the full data set. Or another way to do it, instead of clicking on it, after line 3, you can also say view. View is another keyword. So VIEW, enter, and then Star Wars. If you run this, it's also going to show you the same thing we just saw, the actual data set of the Star Wars. So in this one now, it shows you all of the column, all of the rows, and every other data within it. Abraham, I'm coming. I see your hand is up. Yeah, you can go ahead, Abraham, ask a question.
Yeah, like within my environment, it's empty, bro.
If your environment is empty, that means you haven't loaded the command yet. So try to run line 3, that is data Star Wars.
Okay.
Data Star Wars. Once you run that, it will appear in your environment.
All right.
So if you have viewed the Star Wars, please send 4 in the comment section. Please send 4 in the comment section if you have already viewed the Star Wars. Saidu, Siafa, Ravo, Alexander, Feda, Miracle. All right. Abdullah, Aminanta, okay. People are on course. So that means once you have viewed it, we are on course. There you saw, let's just go back again and view it so that we can study it a little bit. So these are names of all of the characters in the Star Wars movie, though I've not even watched that movie yet, but these are all of the characters in that Star Wars movie. And their height, for each of those characters, their height, their mass, their hair color, skin color, their eye color. Some of them have yellow eye, red eye, blue eye. I think I have to watch that movie. Their birth year, sex, gender, home world, their species, if they were human, and all of that. So the film, they also acted in. Probably some of them only acted in one. Some of them also acted in other movies. They are all here. The vehicles that they are driving, the starship, and every other details about them are here. Yesterday, we even tell you, like, probably if you do some surveys, you will see that some people actually didn't provide certain information you need. For example, you can see hair color of this character called C3PO. The hair color of this person was not recorded. Even the hair color of this other person is not recorded. If you check also for the mass, the height of also this character, Avo, is also not recorded. So we have some missing data here, which will also affect our analysis. Because if you want to do, for example, T-tests and all of that, you don't have, once that data have missing data, it's going to cause problem. Or it's going to affect the result. So you always want to make sure you clean your data. You always want to make sure you clean your data. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So now we can see that we already have a data, and then we have some values in our data. We also have some missing records in our data. So let's see how we can fix some of these things. Now, the first one is we could also get a summary of this entire data. And this summary is going to show us also additional things like we just saw. Probably you don't want to scroll through the data to see all of these things that you have missing. That means somebody's trying to draw on the screen. So you don't want to scroll through the data manually. You can use the command summary and then summary of what?
Excuse me, RStudio.
Yes.
You added a view Star Wars. Should we add it too? Because I don't have it for my stuff from data. From data, I came to here Star Wars. From data Star Wars, I came to here Star Wars. You just added this one. Should we add it too?
No, it's not compulsory, but it's just there for you to be able to view the data set.
Okay.
As long as you also can click on it from your environment. Clicking on it from the environment is the same as running the command view Star Wars. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's just the same thing. But what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to share the codes from today. I will share it also in all of the groups. So everything we are doing here, the codes will also be shared. So that way, probably you can cross-check to see if you make mistakes certain point in time. You can follow through with the code and also follow the video again. So don't worry, we're going to make sure that nothing is left behind. So if you take the summary of the Star Wars, all the details we need. So if we expand our screen, we'll even see it more. But you can see here, when we run summary, Star Wars, we have about 87 different lengths, and the characters basically, the class, they are all characters. For the height, the minimum height there is this, the first quarter, second quarter, like that. And the mass, the minimum mass is also like this. So we can get a summary of that entire data set. We can get a summary of that entire data set. But now let's see how we can be able to remove rows, all of the rows in our data set that have missing values. Probably we don't want to keep any of those rows that have missing values because maybe it might affect our data. So we want to remove all of the rows that have missing values. So how do we do it? Now we can create a variable. And this variable is going to now save this new or clean data. So let's call this variable, I'm going to call this variable Bosco. So the variable, for example, we said a variable can be any name. And this variable cannot start with a number. The variable can start with a letter, the very first word. Like since I put Bosco here, the B is valid. But I cannot put 3 or I cannot put 1. But after B, I can put maybe 1, 2, 3 or whatever thing I can put is acceptable. So this is not just for Arab, but also for every other programming languages. Your variable cannot start with a number. So we call this variable Bosco. For me, when I see the name Bosco, I'll remember that this is the clean data in which I remove all of the rows that have missing values. So let's check it one more time so that you can observe the row that will be dropped. I'm going to click on the Star Wars dataset, or you can also run the view Star Wars. If you observe carefully, you will see that row 3 and row 4 Let's wait for mine to pop up. Row 3 and row 4 that has the missing data. After we run this new command that we're about to execute, we will not be able to see it again. Okay, row 3, I said 2 and 3. That's C3PO and R2D2. They all have missing data for the hair color. The hair color was not recorded when the survey was being conducted. So that means it have missing data. So whenever I see this variable called Bosco, I know that it contains a very clean data that have every other thing intact. There's nothing missing. So there is this assignment symbol. The assignment symbol, how do we get it? Alternate and minus. Alternate and minus. That is the less than with a halving sign in front of it. So on your keyboard, let's do it again, right? It's called the assignment symbol. On your keyboard, look for the key that has ALT. So ALT plus that minus key on your keyboard together. ALT plus the minus key on your keyboard will give you this symbol, the assignment symbol. One finger is pressing on the ALT right beside the space key. Another finger is pressing one time, not sticking on it, just one time. It just hit on the minus key or the halving key on your keyboard. So if you have done that, please send 5. Please send 5 in the comment section. Okay, Shefa, Father Ravo, Saidu, Kersley, Samuel, Elijah, Abraham. Okay, Daniel. All right. Okay, that's good. That's good. So we have already put our assignment symbol. Again, alternate and the minus key. So that means, I will explain it when we get a little bit in front. What is the meaning of that symbol? Though I say assignment symbol, what are we assigning? So we said this variable is going to store the clean data of the Star Wars data set. So Star Wars, meaning we are going to use this Star Wars data set to drop every other rows or columns that have, every rows that have missing data. So Bosco, assignment symbol, the variable name, the data set name, Star Wars. We also have another symbol that we're going to use, and it's going to be used throughout. So it's better you can write it down. This symbol is called and then. So it's Control Shift and M all together. So let me write it down here. Let's do it again. And then symbol is called and then, or I'll call it and then, and you'll understand why I call it and then. So on your keyboard, there's a key there called Shift. There's another key called CTRL. There's another key with the M. So you are holding all of these 3 keys together at the same time. Control Shift M. Control Shift M. All right, let me paste it in the chat session here. Control Shift, my phone is getting out of power. Can I do for my attendance? Sorry, sir, we're not doing attendance now. So Star Wars, and then we put our indent symbol. Oops, sorry. Let's click here. And then, so that is percent greater than percent. So instead of you tapping it manually, you can just get it faster by holding the Control Shift and M. So, and then do what? Dropped underscore NA. But once we tap drop, you can see it gave us all of the different commands that have dropped. If we scroll down to drop underscore NA, we see the little description here. It tells you that drop rows where any column specified by containing a missing value. So everything, I'll try to give you a description of it, so that even if you are practicing alone, you won't be lost. And you can even go to the help area and type the same drop underscore NA to understand what it actually does and probably every other thing that comes with it. So we're going to use that command drop underscore NA. So running this command, this is all right. So let's explain this before we run it, while we also give others the chance to tap it. I'm going to also copy it in the chat session. Okay. So what this means is that, firstly, everything on the right-hand side should be sent. You can see the arrow here, the assignment symbol. You can see where it is pointing. Now it's telling a story. Everything on the right-hand side, that is the Star Wars, and then drop something, something, they should all go into what we have on the left-hand side, which is Bosco. So the arrow is telling us that everything you have on the side should go into what we have on the left-hand side. And what do we have on the side? We have the Star Wars data set, and then drop NA. Drop NA from the Star Wars data set. That is what we have here. Drop NA from the Star Wars data set. And then save that result inside the variable called Bosco. So let's run it and see. Control Enter, or I can hit here on run. So now you can see that has been run. So if you check your environment, you will see that there is a variable or a data frame called Bosco. Okay, so there will be a Bosco here in our environment. If you cannot see Bosco there, that means there is a problem. But Bosco should appear in the environment area here. So you can either do view, the same way we did view Star Wars. We can also do view Bosco, or we can just click here on Bosco. Once you click on Bosco, we'll now be able to see or view that data set. And if you look carefully, row 2 and 3 is no longer there. Now it has been replaced with different rows. And if you check as well, there will be no missing data in this new data set that we have, because we have cleaned this data in such a way that it will not contain any missing records. All of the rows that have missing data are now dropped. All of the rows that have missing data are now dropped. But we could also do another thing. In the beginning, let's take a look again at the original Star Wars data set. We saw that it was basically, for example, hair color. Even if we scroll down here to height, we can see here height also have missing data. Mass also have missing data here, missing data here. So what if we don't want to just drop the NA from all other rows? We want to be specific to a particular column, right? We want to be specific to a particular column. How can we do it? But before that question, if you were able to have that new data set called Bosco, probably you could change it to your own name though. If you were able to do that, let us know in the comment section by sending 1. Just send 1 in the comment section if you were able to do that. Okay, Shafa, Alexander, if you were able to do that, send 1 in the comment section. Bravo, okay, Joka, Abraham, Sadia, okay, Saidu, Mel Gibson, Presley, Fada, all right, Jala and Mara. So these same things will be applied. If you are analyzing your Excel data or whatever data you have, you will also have, or you experience some of these things. How do you clean it? Or basically you could clean it, for example, from Excel manually. Maybe you just go there one at a time and then do it manually and then you come back. That could also be your tactic. But then let's also see how we can do it by referencing specific columns. So let's create a new variable. I'm going to call this variable, Let me check the comment section and see who name I can use this time. Okay, let's use ADJ, Alexander Domba Joe. ADJ. Okay, so I'm going to create a new variable called ADJ, and then I'm going to use the assignment symbol. The assignment symbol, we just talked about it before. So like I said, we're going to use it often, so you have to get used to it. So ADJ is the new variable, and this new data set we are creating, which you're going to use the original Star Wars again. Use the original Star Wars, and then drop the same command, drop NA, but now inside the parentheses, we're going to specify the columns that we want to drop the NA from. So since the system already realized that we're using the Star Wars data set, if there is any column that exists within the Star Wars data set that start with maybe HEI, since there's a height, there's a column there for height, it's going to just pop it up, but you can also manually type it if you are not getting yours, and also mass. Okay, so that means we're going to drop all of the NA or missing data from the height and the mass column. The other columns can stay the same, even though they have missing data, but they can stay the same. We're just dropping it from the height and the mass. So let's run this one. Let me drop the command in the chat session for those that are still following. Then I'm going to run this one.
I did send a screenshot in the message box asking for your help.
Okay, let me check it out. So I've sent the command in the chat session. You can try to run it for those of us that are on course. Try to run it and you will observe. Bosco Star Wars. Because the spelling was wrong. So the error you get, object Star Wars not found, because you didn't put S after the word. So that's a problem right there. So on line 4, you got view Star Wars, add S to the Star Wars. Yeah. So that is the.
All right.
Yeah, that is.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So we have run this ADJ. When I click on ADJ here, you observe that on the height and the mass, we will not find any missing data here on height and mass. Height and mass will be totally clean. There will be no missing data on height and mass, though we can see missing data here on hair color. We can also see missing data somewhere, some way, somehow around. Okay, but then only on height and mass, as we specify, we don't want to see any missing data on height and mass. So that is what we just did. Okay, so now let's push ourselves a little bit to see other things we can do. We have a whole lot to cover up today, but the time will not permit us to do so. So let's try to move a little bit faster. Let's see how we can filter our data. For example, in the original Star Wars data set, we have, let's view it again. The height here, we have 172, 167, 96, 200, and all of that. So we have different heights. So let's say we have this whole record of our people. We just need to, the supervisor need all of the employees that having the height of maybe above 200. They are telling you, like, check the data and give me all of the employees that have the height of 200. Now, if you want to do things manually, you are going to start checking one at a time. What if you have a data or a company of over 500 persons? You will have to do things one at a time, which is not going to boost your productivity. Let's say usually when a supervisor or bosses are giving you this instruction, they need it urgently. So if you're on top of a game, while your friends are using maybe Excel, you are here using your R and RStudio. So let's see how we can do it faster. We create a variable. Let's call this variable minecoin. Okay. You can call your variable any name, but I'm going to call mine coin with the assignment symbol here using the Star Wars data set. And then putting my and then symbol. Down, the next command I have to use is filter. Like I said, I want to filter our data. So filter the row. So filter, and then what do we want to filter? We want to filter the height. Our supervisor said he needs all of the employees that have the height of above 200. So height greater than, that is a shift, and your greater than symbol, greater than 200. Okay? So the greater than symbol is the same greater than that you know on your keyboard. Let me post it in the chat session. Okay? So here we are saying from the Star Wars data set, filter out of the height greater than 200 and save it inside this variable called manquin. So once we get our logic, it becomes easier for us to understand the code. Now let's run it. It has been run. Now let's see if we can find manquin. So here in our environment, if I look down here, I can see the data frame called manquin. I can also view, parentheses open, manquin. Once I click on it, this record only gives me the records of all of the employees or all of the characters from the Star Wars movie that have the height of 200, greater than 200. So all of the heights here are height greater than 200. So you can just quickly save this one, send it to your supervisor or your boss. Say, wow, that was very fast. How did you do it? Tell you them a secret. That's what you're paying me for. So you get all of the heights that are greater than 200. You can also specify, instead of height, you can also put mass. You can put where hair color equal something, eye color equals something. So based on your demand, you can just use the filter, the column you want to filter, and then what you want to get from that filter. From that, if all of the height less than 200, then you change greater than to less than. So in your free time, you can practice by changing just the sign, changing the number from 200 to maybe to 50 to 150 like that. Let's also see, maybe since we are dealing with numbers, our supervisor also want us to, because if we check, for example, let's go back again to the Star Wars. Maybe we forgot. Let's look for the column called species. So we can see here species. We have in human, we have in drought, we have in, if we look down here, Wookiee, we have in Rhodian, Hot, Yoda species, Transdosha, different species are here from that Star Wars data set. Different species. Now we want to get all of the species that are human. Okay? All of the species that are human. How can we do it? It's not advisable to copy it and paste code. It's good that you can be able to read it, because the more you read it, the more you get familiar with it. So, but because of time, let's just copy it so that we can move faster. Copy and paste it. And now let's change the height column, because now we want to deal with species. So SPECIES, that's the column name from the data set. The same way it is spelled in the data set is the same way you should spell it. So species, and then what do you want? Species equal to human, or what species is human. So this time around, we are not using greater than, because greater than, as we learn in mathematics or basic arithmetic, they are dealing with numbers. But now we are dealing with words, human. So we have to use double equal. We use,
Excuse me, Honorable CEO.
yeah.
Yeah, to where you have the marquee, I did that, I run it, but it did not appear in my environment section. I don't know whether that is correct.
What did he get in the console? Did he get
In
anything
the console, yes, I got the name. I put the Joshua Star Wars filter height greater than 200.
Just
It appears.
send a
It
screenshot.
appears.
in the comment
Yeah,
section. and then I will
PSA
check it.
Council. Okay.
Yeah, I think there's probably you left out something. If you're not seeing an environment, something was left out. So
Yeah, maybe you have to check the filter spelling. I did mistake there as well.
okay. So the column we are using now is species, and where the species is human. So since we are dealing with voice, every time we are dealing with voice, we put it in quotation. When we're dealing with numbers, we didn't put it in quotation. So when we are dealing with voice, we put it in quotation. So human, the same way it is spelled in the data set is the same way you should spell it out here. If they put S to the humans in the data set, you should also put S here because we are trying to get something from an existing data set. So if it's not in existence, then we'll not find it, okay? So where the species is human, let's run it, but let me just paste it in the chat
So,
section. For
I
those
would like to ask a question, please.
Yes, go ahead.
How do I know if whether I should write a capital letter or small letter? Like the way I seeing you writing human right now in all capital letter.
Okay, that's a good question. But also we can get it directly from our data set. So let's view our Star Wars again. So everything we're doing, we are referencing this data set. So the same way it is spelled here is the same way we should proceed. The species, even the S is small letters, but you see human, the H is uppercase. That is why I'm using uppercase H. Okay, so the same way it is spelled here is the same way we want to call it. Because if we put anything there different from what we have, we'll not get any result. So that is the reason why you see me using capital H here. I didn't use uppercase S because in the data set, the species is spelled in lowercase. So let's run it. Now that has been run.
Thank you.
If I now check, I will see, oh, I think I override. Should have changed that data. I mean, the variable name, I should have changed it. So let me change it before I send you the code and it become a problem. So the first code here was for Mancoin. The second one, let's use another person name. Let me see who name to use. This is what I got, Alexander. I'm coming, I'll check. Let me see who name to use, who's active.
For me, I just use human _ species. I've
okay.
got that running.
All right, that's also great. So I'm going to use Willie. Okay, so that this result should be saved in this variable called Willie. So let's run it. And now as you see down here, this variable called Willie, once I click on it, it's going to give me the result for all of the species that are human. So if you check here, they are all the data now that we have, they are all related to human. There is nothing about the other species, just human. All of the data are now related to human. So that is how we can do it. I'm going to go to the chat session. If you have done it, let me see Alexander error message. If you have done it, please send 2 in the chat session. If you have done it, please send 2 in the chat session. Let's see Alexander problem that he has.
Please, I just want to
Alex,
know, why do we use the double equal sign?
yeah, double equal means you are being specific to something that exists. If we use one equal sign, that means we are assigning something new to something. Something that does not exist. For example, maybe we want to change the column name or want to change the specific maybe numbers or anything. Once we are changing that or even creating a variable to save whatever inside of it, we can use a single equal sign. But then whenever we use double equal, not just for R, but in Python and other languages, whenever we use double equal, that means we are trying to call something, we're trying to reference something that exists. So Alexander, your problem is with the filter. You misspelled the name. is lowercase f.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so change the f to lowercase and your problem should be solved. So for
Okay.
those of us that have done it, lesson 2, I think we have, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Okay,
Got
that's
it right. Got it right. Thank you.
okay, no problem. Yep, okay, so that is it. Let's now try to see how we can summarize all of the things we have been doing. We still have some other things that we have not done yet, though. But let's just do one general or big one, giant size one, because I think I saw a
Excuse me,
question.
please.
Yes.
Yeah. What? Let's say at your console, right? At your console, right? You do have, like, for Eastern, you have McQueen, and then under McQueen, you still have View McQueen. But I don't have the same. Mine is not matching with yours. I don't know. How can
No,
I get
it's
it?
because I just click on the man coin from the environment. So that is why
Oh,
it
okay.
went here. It was not something that I tapped. So
Okay, okay,
like I said, once you clicking is the same as tapping a command. So in the console is running the code from the back end. That is
Okay.
what is putting in
Yeah.
the console.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
All right. So let's read one giant size one that will probably solve many other problems that we have. Because I think I saw another question how we can, what if I have a height of 200 and I want to add another thing there? Yeah, so let's do one giant size tax. And that will be probably our last tax for the day. I will stay here for a few minutes because we lost 1 hour today. So I will stay here after the official time of 9:30. I will stay here to entertain any questions, and probably we can even go further to do probably a visualization. Since you already learned how to manipulate your data, clean it and stuff, we can do one visualization so that you can see how you can generate a graph and see the result, not just dealing with these minor things we are doing. So if you have that time, you can stay after the official 9:30, then we will go shoot that as I would say, yeah, to try to pay for the delay and everything we have today. So let's write this one giant size one, and it's going to combine data cleaning with data manipulation. So in this one, for example, we can drop all of the missing data on height and mass. We can also get all of the height above 100. We can choose specific columns to just view. And then we can also create new column, okay? And also arrange or rearrange how the values are appearing, either in descending order or ascending order. So let's go about that. Let's create a variable that is going to save this. I'm going to call this variable, Choco. Okay. I'm going to call this variable Choco. And then inside this variable, we're going to use the Star Wars dataset as always. That's the dataset we are using. And then we going to put our indent symbol. But this time around, I want you to observe, even these codes we're tapping, it's not compulsory that we keep putting all of the lines right in front of it. We can even drop after the indent. We can make our code look beautiful to tell the story as well. So instead of just going straight, we can break the code down as well. So let's see how we can do it. After this indent, you press enter. And then you put a drop. So we want to drop the missing data on the height and the mass, similar thing we did before. So height and mass. And after height and mass, we put indent again. So you see that we have our variable called Choco, in which we are going to use the Star Wars dataset to drop the missing data on height and mass, and then do what? So, and then we filter that data, that new data that we have, we filter that data to get all of the heights that are greater than 100. So it's going to be a whole different data set you are creating from a whole giant size data set. So you are basically extracting key things you want. Maybe you have this entire student data set, and then you are getting students that were enrolled in a specific year, or students from a particular city that are doing specific major, and probably they'll graduate certain year or from certain province. You can have the same things going on. So we filter our data where the height is 100. But then we don't want all of the columns. We don't want to see all of that species, movie they acted in. No, we are not interested in that. We are only interested in 3 different columns from that entire data set. So we have to use the select keyword. We use the select keyword. So select what? We want to select the name of those characters, because in our data set we have name. We also have the height. So it's going to give us now the new height that is greater than 100. And then we also have the mass. And this mass also will be the mass where there is no missing data. And we also want, maybe you can add a species there to tell us as well who they are. And then we put our indent symbol. After this, we want to create a new column called the body mass index. Okay, so the height that we have and the mass that we have, how can we use it to find the BMR? Probably some of you know what is BMR, the body mass index. So how can we do that? So we use this keyword called mutate. Mutate means you want to change. Mutate means you want to create new things. So mutate what? What is the new column name? BMR. So this new column now is assigned. That is what now we are using the 1 equal symbol or the 1 equal sign, because we want something to be assigned to it. So whatever we have somewhere, we want it to take effect into this new column that we call BMR. So BMR, and what is the logic? How can we calculate the BMR using the height and the mass that we already have? So BMI is equals to the mass divided by, open another parenthesis, the height let's divide the height by 100, and then we can square it. Okay, so this will give us, it's just a mathematical expression. For some of you that are good with mathematics, you will understand this expression. So the numerator here of this variable is the mass, and then our denominator here is a whole different kind of an equation, which is height divided by 100 all square. Height divided by 100 all square. That will give us the BMR. So you want to know your own BMR, your height, your current mass. Probably you are 60 kg, 80 kg, 90 kg, and then your current height. Maybe you are 177 centimeter. Divide that by 100, and then you square it. Then you will know your actual body mass. So from this class, you can even calculate your own body mass. So after that, let's arrange all of our data we have into descending order. The BMR, now we just calculated. Let's put it into descending order. Once we are done, we can view that data set. I'm going to call this data set here Choco. Okay. First, let's run it. If we don't have any error, then we can come back and explain it and also paste it. Okay, so that was successful. I'm going to paste the code in the chat session, then we can explain it and then see. Let's first view it. So you can see my environment. I have Choco. When I click here on Choco, I can see only a few columns. Only a few columns I can see. All of the names, as we specify in our select statement, in the select, we said, select the name, the height, the mass, and then mutate said, create new column called BMR. So in our new data set, we have the name, height, mass, species. With the new column we created called BMR. So BMR automatically calculated the body mass index for each of the different characters that we specify. So there's a whole different data set from the Star Wars data set. In the original Star Wars data set, we don't have BMR, but we added a new column. We added a new column by specifying a different expression, a mathematical expression. So you can see here, we have everything here. And if you observe carefully, we said the mass, the BMR should be arranged in descending order. That is why you saw in the very last one we put arrange, DESC, that's descending, and then the column you want to be in descending order, BMR. So we say arrange the BMR in descending order. So you can see these values started from the highest going down to the lowest value. Okay, so let's go back to the code and explain it, and then we will take question, do our attendance, and those that want to stay, they can stay so that we can do the data visualization. So here we created a variable called Choco using a Star Wars data set with the and then symbol, and then do what? And then drop all the missing data that we have on the height and the mass. And then do what? Filter the height greater than 100. Let's even go back to our data and observe that. So you can see even the height here, all of these heights are heights greater than 100. Okay, so that's what we said. Filter the height greater than 100. And then select one of these columns, the name, the height, the mass, the species. And then do what? Change or create a new column called BMR using this mathematical expression. That is the mass divided by the height divided by 100 or square. And then do what? Arrange that BMR in descending order. So this is what we have just done. And that's the result we have seen here. So firstly, let's see those that have done it. I will need to rewatch this video on YouTube. How can you share, please, the record in the group chat so we can practice level? We will share the code in the chat session. We'll share the code in the chat session. I mean, not in the chat session. I'm going to even share it now in the chat session. But we'll also share the actual R script file. So once we share with you, all you have to do are two things. You can just double click on it, and it's going to open your code directly like this. Or you can open your RStudio, come to File, and then you come to Open File. So first, when we send the file to the group, save it to your computer. When we send the file to your group, to the group, save it to your computer. Then come to your RStudio, click on File, go to Open File, and then you locate that file. You locate the file and just click on Open. It will open like this. So we have not saved this work yet. So let me save it. I can also click on this blue icon here to save it, or I can come to File again, and then I look for Save As, so that I can know where I'm saving it. Save As, OSCC 2025, day 3, where are you? Day 3. Then I'm going to call this, okay, our class, right? Or our section. day 3. Okay, so that will be the name you will see in the group. So I've already saved it. Once I save it, you can see above here, the file name is already here. The same way you can see this choco here, the file name is already here. So this file will be shared to all of the groups. We can play with it, change things. We already have the data set built into R, so it is not something from a computer. It's something that you already have to your disposal. You can play with it and learn new things. I will stop here and take questions. If you have any error in the code, let me see Abraham Salif. If we don't have any question until 9:20 China time, then we will do our selfie for the day. And those that want to stay, we can move into another session of data visualization so that we can visualize our
Yes, CEO. I have a question, sir.
Okay, I'm coming. Let me see the problem from Abraham. Can select column that does not exist. So on your drop NA, you misspell the height. So check on line 15, you misspell the height. So that's why it's telling you that in the error, can select column that does not exist. Okay, so go to line 15 and correct the spelling of height. And probably that should help. Yeah. Okay, you can go ahead and ask a question. Somebody else have a question?
Yes. How to convert string variables into numerical variables using R?
So for those following, strings basically they are words, right? If you want to convert it into a numerical variable, then one way you can even do it is when you're even uploading the data set. For example, when you're importing this data set from, if you're using this option, import data set, and you come to Excel, it gives you the ability to even do it in the beginning. Ooh, I think I have to install a package within the R tools. It gives you the ability to do it in the beginning so that you can change everything. Do you want to install this package now? Oh, yep. Yeah, so let's something install, and then I'll come back to your question to explain it better so that you can see what I'm talking about. Yep. Who have question? Moses?
Please.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your presentation. I want to ask, like, will you be able to send the video in the group chat because my RStudio started malfunctioning. I have to uninstall it and then reinstall it, so I lost all of the track. Will you do that for me?
Number one, we will share the code. Number two, the video will be
Okay.
on YouTube. As every day, we'll
Okay,
also
sir.
share the link. We'll share the link in the group, and then you can go to YouTube and rewatch the video.
Okay, Chief.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So let's see how we can. Yeah, go ahead. Ask a question. I want to find an Excel file here to.
Okay.
Show.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, please. I was wanted to know that if on the Excel file you can input in RStudio.
No. That would make R to be the bigger brother. R you can import any kind of data you have. Your medical data, your whatever data you have, you can import it into R. So that's the beauty of R. Whatever data you can imagine having, you can import it into R. It's not only limited to.
My next question, please. Okay. So is there any way that you have to convert the file into another format before you import it into RStudio?
So if you are not converting it from R, then whatever software you are using, that's also fine. You can convert it before bringing it. For example, when you have an Excel file, you can convert it to CSV, and you can also import CSV to Excel, to R. So if you can do the conversion before reaching it here, that's fine. Even from here, you can import SPSS file. You can even import Excel file, but you can export it as CSV file. You can export it as SPSS file. You can export it as status file. So the capability are all there. R has that capability to export it to whatever extension you want it in. Also, if you already do the conversion from whatever system you want to import into R, is also fine. So both ways is possible. They're all possible. So
okay, thank you.
Okay, the person who asked the question about converting screen to numeric. So if you observe carefully, wanna find this Excel file, right? This country journey from, that is the registration data. The country journey from, you can see here they are all characters. It's identified automatically as a character variable because of the voice. So we can change that. We come here to the drop down, and then we can say numeric. So we change the column type to a numeric. So that's also possible. But you might have other complications along the way, and how to reference it in your code to avoid any feature problem. Yeah, Bosco, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you. The basic is needed, especially when you're working in a new environment. Gotta get familiar with it. So this has been very, very useful and helpful. However, I want to ask regarding to when you have cleaned your data. Let's say you dealing with a very complex data that is very huge, and instead of manually deleting those spaces and stuff, and you have cleaned it here like what we just did, and you want to directly use that the clean data, or you want to export it into a particular document that you're working with in that moment. So instead of fighting to look for maybe save as or directly export, why not just ask the guru BA and get the problem solved? So can you like demonstrate how can you do that?
Okay, so if we stay a little bit, I will try to do so. So let's do our attendance, so that those who want to leave officially, they can leave. Then those of us that want to stay, we can stay to go through all of these processes. So please turn on your cameras. Let's do our attendance for the day. For the records, we are currently 169. Okay, Yomi, I will lower your hand and I'll get back to you later. All right, so let's take I'll give you a few seconds so that you can adjust, because people are turning on the cameras. You're going to switch from different screen to another. Okay, I think it's already time. All right. Okay, so please, it's time to leave. Please wait. Leaving, let's see. Just wait. If you're following, please wait. We are about to take the attendance. When we finish, we'll let you know, and then you can leave. We still have officially 4 minutes. Okay, I'm taking the first screen. You don't know which screen you're on. We will take the comments after, before it blocks somebody's face and somebody's name. So let's redo, because somebody's name was just blocked. Ooh. If you leave now, it's up to you. If you're not listening to what we are saying, about waiting until the attendance is over and you still saying you want to leave, that's fine. But please don't come and say you were in attendance and all of that. Meeting ends by 9:30. You have not reached 9:30 yet. You want to leave. So I've taken the first one. Let me take the second one. So if you see any comment on the screen during the checking of the stuff, just go and message that person. Why were you sending comment? You blocked my name. The video will also be on YouTube. Every day people complain. The video will also be on YouTube. You can go back there and watch the playback or skip the video, and then you will see if you are actually in attendance. Please do that before complaining that you are not in attendance. Check first. I'm coming. I'm still doing the attendance. I will get back to us. Please check the YouTube video first before, and check the attendance record before you say you are not captured, because it's possible you are being blocked by the comment, so you are not shown on the document. We have 2 more to go, 2 more screens. And after this, we'll take questions and then go into the other sessions of data visualization for those who still want to get more of what we have. Okay, so just wait. We got 1 more screen to take. Just be in that same position. We will get to you shortly. We got just 1 more. A6. We are taking the last one. We are taking the last one. This is time management at its best. So officially we are done. Let me just go through 1 more time for the sake of YouTube. For the sake of YouTube, let me just go 1 more time so that those who camera were off or on at a certain point in time can still be able to see themselves. Okay. So thank you all so much for today. We are officially done for the day. Those of us that want to ask questions or